Hi, I'm Mike, a technical specialist at IBM. On a recent video, I talked about 3 of my favorite features released in IBM Cognos Analytics version 12. Today, I'm here with another technical specialist, Shane, for a longer video to dive deeper into the differences between the 11.2.4 long-term support release and version 12 of IBM Cognos Analytics. To start, here's a summary showing you the enhancements made in the 11.2 innovation stream. We won't go over every single one right now, but there's a link in the description that takes you to the IBM Cognos Analytics documentation telling you about all of these points and how you can use them. Feel free to pause the video here if you want to take a look at all of the bullets. Let's go through a few of the main improvements in this release. One big improvement to content navigation and UI in 11.2 was the replacement of the slide-out panels with a full-page view of team content and my content. Searching in IBM Cognos Analytics was also greatly improved, by now not only providing local, but also global results. And another feature is the AI assistant understanding relative time. You can ask it what sales were by week between, say, Thanksgiving and Christmas of last year, and it will be able to understand what dates correlate to those terms. There's also a handy new integration now available for Microsoft Teams and Slack. Dashboards keep getting improvements, and at 11.2, even more customizations and formatting options are available for dashboards. Some performance improvements to the dashboard query service help generate dashboards more quickly. And a variety of new visualizations are available, such as box plot, radar, and donut charts to help bring your data to life in new ways. For reporting, you'll see some performance improvements in tabbed reports. And when you run reports as a downloadable format, like an Excel file, the browser tab no longer closes automatically. It remains open, so if you don't like that format, you can run it as a different format quickly. A new image service in 11.2.4 allows you to render maps and other new visualizations in PDF and Excel format. Previously, these were only available in HTML. You can now control drill-through behavior when context filters are not used in your report. And by default, context filter values are not automatically passed to the target report, so this can now be set to do so. Lastly, there are additional options that make it easier to customize the font in rows and columns. These are some of the main improvements and highlights in the 11.2 innovation stream. Now, Shane's going to talk about version 12.
Now we'll go over some of the major enhancements to version 12. So here's a quick summary slide of many of the Cognos 12 enhancements. If you want to get into the weeds on the enhancements and how you can use them, we'll post a link in the video description that will take you to all the details. Now the biggest improvements are changes in the user interface that bring the Cognos AI assistant front and center to encourage user adoption of the tool that can speed up the time it takes someone to uncover insights. Another huge improvement is around dashboard performance. When applying filters and interacting with visualizations in the dashboard, you'll see sub-second regeneration times. As stated before, the Cognos Assistant has become front and center in the product. So here you'll see a little video where the Cognos Assistant has been activated. You can see in the top right there's a little message icon where you can activate it. It'll turn into this little slide out panel. You also have the option to bring it into full screen focus to have more room when you're playing around with the visualizations or exploring your data. Narrative insights are now available right from the Cognos Assistant. So after you ask the assistant a question and a chart is generated, you're going to see an icon here which indicates there's insights available. If you click on that icon, a side panel will fly out showing you some insights that the assistant has found that could be useful in your analysis. Making it easier to collaborate and share content has been a big theme in the last several releases of Cognos. And in version 12, you can now share insights right from the assistant to email, Slack, or Microsoft Teams. Another upgrade to the Cognos Assistant is you can take a visualization that it creates and you can ask the assistant to create a dashboard using it. Now, if you do this, the assistant will open the dashboarding tool and then it will build several visualizations for you. Now, all the content that it creates is based off that initial visualization and the data source it used. This keeps things in context, making the automatically created content more relevant. To bring home the emphasis on self-service, you can see here in the new version 12 homepage, the assistant is front and center. Below that, there are some videos and a tour to help users get started. And below that even, there are some quick tiles where you can jump right in to creating content. You can choose to upload data, or you can create content from an existing data source. Now this short video is going to show you how somebody is going to choose to upload some data. Now a wizard pops up. It tells you need to add a file. You choose a file. It loads it into Cognos, and it doesn't dump you back into the home page. It keeps walking you through what to do next. So file's uploaded, hit next. It gives you more options here, what you can do with that file. This user is going to choose dashboard, hit create. Now they'll choose a template, and it lands them right into dashboarding where they can use the data from the file they just uploaded to start creating content. Moving on to my favorite enhancement in version 12. So I'll play you a quick video here, and in the video, you can see the user interacting with the dashboard, how it reacts and regenerates the visualization in sub-second speed due to a new local query cache for dashboards. Now here you'll see there's a new option in the properties of dashboards where you can actually create the local cache. You can add columns or widgets to the cache to fine-tune it to perform exactly how you'd like it to. Now with this kind of performance gain and the continued features and customization that come out with dashboards in every Cognos release, I mean, if you're not already, I would highly recommend looking into dashboards more. They're easier to build, more intuitive. The end user is a lot more intuitive, and the content, it just looks great. Another performance gain you'll see in version 12 is when you upload files. It'll take about half the time compared to 11.2.4. Now in testing this, we didn't see much with files less than 100 megabytes, but if they do get bigger than that, you're definitely going to get about a 2x performance gain.
If you're using multivariate forecasting, there are now more details available that will help you to explain the forecasting results. The big improvement in bullet charts are that they've been migrated to D3 in TypeScript. The examples you see here showcase bullet charts from D3 in TypeScript, and they also show you detailed labeling. Now you also have the ability in Cognos Analytics version 12 to nest a dashboard within a dashboard, all while maintaining interactivity between widgets. This allows you to expand on your story by showing different views of your data. It also allows you to set it up as a tabbed or a drop-down configuration. If you've been using the IBM Cognos Report Studio for a while, you understand how parameters are powerful, but can be elusive to work with. Before version 11, it was very hard to change a parameter without deleting and recreating it. In Cognos Analytics version 11, we can finally swap a parameter for a prompt and rename them. Now, in Cognos Analytics version 12, there's a dedicated page where you can create all the parameters you need before creating prompts. This makes creating and managing them much more intuitive. Now, with extensions, you can fine-tune who will see which ones through the roles or groups that they're in. You can also add a custom tab extension to the main content page to help organize and make your most important content folders more readily available. Lastly, here are some updates for IBM Cognos Analytics version 12 around supported software to keep in mind.
So now that we've looked at the enhancements for 11.2.4 and version 12 of Cognos Analytics, which version to upgrade to? And the famous answer when it comes to software is it depends. How often do you want to upgrade? If you do go to Cognos 11.2.4, you'll be on a long-term support release, but you're going to miss out on the new features and enhancements in the version 12 innovation stream. So your next question is, does that newer version of Cognos have a feature that we need? Have people been asking for this specific feature? Or is it simply things we want? How much internal documentation and training material do you have? How much would need to be updated if you upgrade to a newer version? And is the software that Cognos is running on compatible with a new version? Or is it near end of support? Other things to consider is that in-place upgrades make staying on a more current version more reasonable since they are a lot quicker to do. But the next thing to consider is how much testing do you have to do? If it's a lot, then you definitely want to consider automating it as much as possible, especially if you want to stay on the most current version of Cognos. Again, consider what version, what operating system your server is running right now. Is it compatible? How about your Cognos databases and drivers? Do you want to upgrade all of those to the most current version when you do your upgrade. Or, with the SaaS offering, all the upgrades to the Cognos software, the OS, the Cognos databases, the drivers, they'll be managed for you. Even the tuning, the performance tuning of Cognos would also be managed. So there's a lot to consider here, depending on, what your current situation is, what version to go to. But hopefully, this presentation was valuable to you. We appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in another video.